Hello, beautiful people, and good morning to all of you. And I know some of you are eager for me to break this down. Um, First thing I'm gonna say, disclaimer: I am running on 3 hours of sleep because I had to wake up for this. Two, I'm happy I woke up for this. And three, let's get into it. So out the gate, they state that this is a new chapter past halfway point. So this is past halfway point. The indication on this being like new enemy tier, not a new enemy type. We've seen the big ogre guys. They are glorified Ninja Gaiden 1 ogres, so you know they're uh they're gonna be called ogre samurais from now on until I know the actual name. Um and the ninja type samurais. So they have the black armor. And if you are familiar with Ninja Gaiden, you know that different colors on enemies signifies their tier. So with like the spider clans, you have the normal green suit or the green attire ninjas, which are like the father ones, and then you get the white ones. The white ninjas are like way harder, right? And then same with the claws. You got the brown ones, which is like your the claw ninjas are the brown. Claw ninjas are your basic ones, and then you have the black claw ninjas, which are like a tier above that, and then you have the fiend claw ninjas, which are the strongest version of them. So here you see upgrades to enemy tiers, which means yes, like just on normal mode, you're gonna face through higher tiers of enemies, and they do slap. Like they're way more aggressive. They have way more moveset in them, and considering what they said about Master Ninja is that enemies get new moves. So these guys are gonna get new moves on top of the new moves they already have over the lower tier enemies that you fight early on in the chapters. But yeah, confirmation this is past halfway point apparently. Yeah, Nakao-san said it himself, and like four like okay, so four weapons right now by halfway point, so you get a lot of time to mess around with these. Also, I gotta correct myself since it was a prediction, but my prediction was wrong. Apparently, the gauntlets are not on down D-pad; they're on left D-pad. All right, that's over with. That was the only thing I was wrong about apparently, because everything else was on point, thankfully. Um, yeah, it's like the weapons look insane. The flying swallow is done with the claw version of it. Uh, OTs switch between, right? And then Bloodbind switches. Like I do not know for the life of me how this weapon is being used. The guesses I can take, the actual just guesses. If there was inputs on screen, of course I could say it in a better and more accurate way. But because there's no inputs on screen, I literally just have to wing it, and I went back to wait. But yeah, the OT in slow mo stabs you with the claws of the bloodbind and the shurikens, which is apparently the base version of this game. Is the shuriken because when you don't have it in bloodbind, it has the windmill shuriken icon. But yeah, Flying Swallow is done with the claws. You can see his arms. It's really hard to get a good frame. But yeah, he has the falcon claws. Well, it's not falcon anymore. I don't know what they're going to be called. So just claws. And I'm assuming this is just strong attack down, which is heavy attack in bloodbind, and he's just drilling to the floor. He did a fatal flash. So good thing about fatal flash. Pay attention here. We've never seen this scenario before. Red parry. That means this is the most timely, tight version of this, right? Fatal flash, if you trigger it, gives you iframes. So the subsequent attacks throughout a period of time do not damage you. This big guy hits pretty big on the floor, right? Like that blast radius definitely caught Yakumo, but there's no damage being taken. And then he retaliates with the normal fatal flash and like look how beautiful the hurt box is here. The hammer does a sweep. Ogre's doing a sweep with the hammer. He jumps over it. So this game, hopefully this consists throughout all the enemies, has impeccable hurt boxes and hit boxes. So you're not gonna get clipped half across the screen because the claw ninja decide to yawn. And then insta UT. This is the UT for the claws or the I don't the assassin's tool is the official name of the weapon. I should have probably disclosed that, but it's going to be on the thumbnail. And if you just want to watch the footage itself, I uploaded a 12 minutes, almost 13 minutes video of just the gameplay portion of the interview. It was 30 minutes long, and we learned of the name of the Jetstream Sam guy, as people like to call him. This is the OT on the big guys, which is brutal. But let's take it back, because this UT is a lot. So this is a level 3 UT. Goes in with the Tonfas, switches to the split staff. Now it's the flail. Back to the Tonfas. Back to the split staff. So it's just repeating the same animation to the flail. And now goes into the final claw slam. Just slash away. Switch to the machetes. That's that. And now, because the enemy is delimbed, go for the finisher, which is just some. That is some like Rasen Shuriken Naruto shenanigan. I love it. I actually do love it. It fits his character because he's supposed to be the younger attraction. He's supposed to be the extra anime ninja. Like this type of stuff really fit him. If I see Ryu do that, I'll definitely cringe. But like with Yakumo, it fits him because the newer audiences, the younger ones, are they probably grew up with Naruto. So like seeing this type of stuff being done by a quote unquote ninja is more attracted to that type of eyes. And if you've been raised by Boruto, I'm sorry. So back to the normal weapon. These enemies take a lot of punishment. Like all those flying swallows and launchers, he just got dealing. One thing I would like to note, I'm noticing he's able to do a lot more bloodbind attacks before the bar goes down, and sometimes the bar doesn't even go down. I don't know what's going on, but um, if I can just go on out on a limb and say maybe this bar is upgradable, maybe the length doesn't go up, but the portion you absorb doing bloodbind attack gets reduced, so you can do more of them before you completely run out. Because if you watch the earlier chapter 1 gameplay, this bar depletes like in 3 moves. Now he did like so many, and some of them didn't even look like they took too much off of it. Yeah. Also, he's running on base health here. We already know this can be increased, but this is base health, so he's halfway through the game with base health. So obviously he's a little underprepared for what's going on, or this is the future with the punishing mode, which takes away all your upgrades. Which I don't think is the case because he had level 3 UT. So Drill has a close-in attack, which is going to be really handy. This is going to be a stinger. So by DMC fillers, that's going to be what you're going to like. Very interesting interaction. This guy comes in for an attack. The hurt box for this move either is too big or something else happened here. He goes for an attack and he gets deflect. Like, does Yakumo just genjutsu his ass? Like, what happened here? He just clashed and just got hit by something. So again, either the bloodline attack for the drill is massive, and obviously you have either you have insane iframes when you're doing bloodline attacks, or this attack whiffs because of the hurt boxes. But he took no damage here, and it doesn't have a hurt box behind him, sadly. Even though he's spinning, the hurt box behind him doesn't exist, which is kind of sad. And again, he got hit there, right? This looked like it hit. Yeah, you see blood come off of Yakumo's head right there. If I can go back 2 frames. Okay, maybe 3 frames. You see, that splasher of blood wasn't there until the sword made a connection. I go forward a frame, and bam, it's there. And the game slows down more. But again, he does this red eye bullshit, which I have no idea what it can be, but it staggers the other guy too, and it just blows up. Maybe if you let go of the bloodbind attack with the drill, you create an AoE around you. Because both times when the red eye appeared, the attack finished. But it didn't seem like it took the. Let's see. Yeah, he definitely took damage here because when you take damage, this bar goes up. the berserk gauge goes up, but his health didn't go down. So you could find potentially there's going to be a lot of cheese in this. But again, he probably didn't take damage here, and he just dealt damage because the other guys get like staggered. So I don't know what's going on here. It's really confusing. I don't know how to explain this. I don't think having hands on with the game would explain this either. Honestly, very interesting react. I'm just gonna go with the drill spot blind attack having a massive hurt box. The OT, as always, fantastic. Now this portion is gonna be fun, so I'm just gonna play up. Tell me that OT isn't sick. This is probably one of my new favorite ones. He activates Berserk and then goes into Bloodbind attacks, which if you do combine these two moves together, you get some very interesting results at the end. Look at all those limbs. Every limb came off of all three of them that were caught in that attack. But one interesting thing I would like to note is that never mind. I thought there was only two essences because of the angle I was in, but yeah, all three of them spawn essence. So scenario here, right? Say you're playing, you pop all this shit, you do all it, right? You just use a super move to create three essences. Guess what you can do? You know, dash out, on landing, insta charge UT, make more essence. And like it's like you can chain all these abilities together to create so many favorable situations that if you're good at the game, it truly will feel that you're unstoppable. And you don't have to be flawless at the game to get that result most likely. Look at those limbs just coming out. That is insane. I do hope there's a way to turn those off. I'm like, I'm not saying it doesn't look bad or anything, but I just don't like my combat being stopped. And this is the finisher for it. So again, I know I talked about this being a strat. When your bar is running out, just do the super move, and we actually see it that it's possible now. I think I talked about this during the Ryu gameplay I was breaking down. I said, hey, if you activate Berserk mode, can you just go ham with it and then dish out last second? And yeah, you can absolutely use the Berserk bar as long as you can, and then dish it out with the super move. Like I would be okay with those cutscenes popping up if it was the final enemy you kill, so you get a little dynamic with it. But and every kill, I could see it getting a little tedious. But because the combat is so fast, I don't think people would mind getting that breather time. And most pro players are probably not going to resort to this. The kickoff move, that's the new aerial string. You do square, square, triangle. Apparently, they do a kickoff, which is good if you miss your Izuna drop input because you press it too soon. Because that way you don't go straight down into your death. Most likely, you just kick the enemy away. OT again. Go in with all four and just rip, and every limb comes off. It's pretty sick. This weapon is gonna have a lot to offer, and probably is gonna be the hardest one to. Also, we're seeing that he's deflecting. He's taking damage there, but he's not taking. What is going on with the health? I'm so curious to know what's going on with the health. He definitely took some shots here. You see him stagger 3 times. These are getting deflected, and he goes into charge. He's still deflecting them, right? And then takes shots, takes shot, takes shot, and then no health is going down. Probably because you can recover that chip damage by doing damage. So I guess he was doing damage as he was taking the damage. So he was just instantly healing it. This is the range attack for the Bloodbind rage attack for the Assassin's Tool, which is sick. And then split staff, boom, the triple string. We saw this in the trailer. Switch it up to Bloodbind, which brings out the machetes, and goes into the claw, and then bam, 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 bam. Some standing here, Area. Like it did the JoJo punches or Metal Gear. It's cool. It's really cool. I wonder if you can extend it. And that's another OT for the staff, and this time he finishes it. Oh, for the ninja, the assassin tool. I'm just gonna call it ninja tool. It's so much better. But the and this one that one ends with the flails instead of the claws, ripping you to shreds. Also, his range attack is still active on the floor. Ironically, it's gonna blow up in 2 seconds. But yeah, those bloodbind range attacks you do with the assassin's tool apparently linger, and they blow up after a certain amount of time. I think it goes up like, yeah, it just went off right now. I think because the combat sequence ended, so there was no point of it being there, right? So the game um auto detonates them, most likely because there's a limit of how much you can have on the floor, so the game doesn't want to register that, hey, you have one explosive left like 5 areas ago, so you can't put four down. You can only put, probably auto detonates it, so it makes it more comfortable. And of course, because you just unlock your new weapon, they're gonna show you cutscenes with the new weapon going ham, and the whole stage is actually designed around the weapons tools. There are some areas you can't reach, so you can shoot with the shuriken, with the weapons shuriken, not normal shuriken. Rapier comes out. This I thought this was gonna be a Ninja Gaiden 2 staircase situation because I saw a whole bunch of enemies coming up to him. Afterward, also your save icon. So after areas, you get checkmarked or checkpointed. So if you die here, you most likely can just replay from this section. You don't have to go back all the way to the start of the game. So it works like Ninja Gaiden 3, and now we have confirmation that it does. But yeah, I saw this and I was like, are we doing another Ninja Gaiden 2 staircase situation? But no, it's not that. It's just a whole bunch of enemies. On Master Ninja, it might be. It might be a whole army coming at you because he is infiltrating the headquarters right now. Also, for my DMC Devil May Cry players, this is straight up buy-in from Aquila in DMC Devil May Cry. It even has the same like the animations and everything. So yeah, this drags enemies towards you, and considering what the drill can do with AoEs, like if you just do a buy-in, land backwards, and just line up the drill hits, the bloodbind drill hits, to just skewer enemies, that would be fucking sick. But he decides to go with the bonk. Sadly, we don't see too much staff gameplay, but we do see both UTs, or sorry, OTs. Whee! And slam. Tell me that effect is not sick. He's literally a pile of mush, brother. What in the? He's literally mincemeat. Look at this. Steak served. Sorry, vegans. That is insane. And you have a big essence there. The big essences have like some green dots in them too. So this is you know, they're bigger. They heal you more too. So maybe the green is signifying that, hey, there's some life into this one. Considering the way Yakumo slammed them, I doubt there's any type of life. But yeah, this is the other OT. We've seen this one first in the second trailer. The staff doesn't seem different, so I don't think when you upgrade your weapons, um, actually, they did talk on that. You do not upgrade weapons in the traditional sense of leveling them up to unlock new moves. So there is two currencies here. The second one is not showing probably because you know it's maybe a demo portion or whatever. But so this is ninja coins. This is how you buy items. This is how you buy signature moves like on landing UTs, flying swallow, guillotine throw, and the fatal flash. And that's how you buy your signature universal moves, right? There is a karma thing under here too. I'll pull up a footage to show it later on. This is a karma thing down here under it. With that one, with the other currency that a while ago, like 2 months ago, I was saying, I wonder what that one does. Well, now we know what it does because in the IGN interview, they say with the karma points, you buy weapon specific techniques. So maybe you unlock new strings with each weapon. So if I could spin this again, y'all remember the Proud Soul system from DMC4? You know, you had to split between buying items and or in other DMC games you just use red orbs to buy, you know, everything. But in DMC4 you had the Proud Soul system and you had the red orb system, which did two different things. And it's the same thing here. So people that say this game is looking like MGR, I'm like, this is looking like Devil May Cry 4 more and more every day, man. This is the other OT for legless D-Limb. I've noticed you have two standing OTs and two legless OTs so far. I don't know if you OT if you're in if you OT is different if you do if you're in bloodline state. That is so much range. Holy crap! You know how hard is it going to be to whiff in this game? These animations are cool too. All apparently all the animations have been mocapped by actual martial artists, which is crazy because who the hell uses these weapons to like nowadays beyond just training? But it explains why Yakumo's animations look so authentic and real. It's because they're all mocapped, right? When you look at Ryu, Ryu looks like he's actually a superhuman, which he is, despite what he might claim. He is a superhuman, and his animations just look fictional. It doesn't seem like something that someone would do with a sword. He has some moves that are traditional, of course, but most of his moves are like things you don't see people trained with a katana do. But Yakumo, on the other hand, Yakumo literally looks like a human using these tools. They move like an actual human. Not saying Yakumo's human. I'm just differentiating the mocap nowadays compared to what creating animations for a character was back in the day. Because Ryu still uses his classic animations. Now we have these guys, upgraded spear enemies, and very dangerous situation. He's not even being targeted here, yet he's parrying every single string hit, right? And if I think if he would have hit it one more time by accident, this guy would have retaliated. Bonk and slap. I do realize we're going through a 12-minute video, uh, a quarter of the speed, but don't worry. This portion that lasts some portions I can skip, like the railing sections. There was no indications that this guy was coming behind him, right? No, there was. There's literally indication telling you there's an attack coming from behind you. So off-screen enemies still do attack you, but now you have a way to tell if something's coming. So if you have hearing problems, which means you can't hear me right now, but if you do have hearing problems in this game, there is enough visual indication. There's one right here. This one's red, so it means it's an unblockable attack. You can still rely on your eyes to tell if something's coming. But if you can't hear it and you have good eyes, you can just, pay attention to both. I usually work on audio cues. I can play a game blindfold, but without audio, it's going to be much harder for me compared to being blindfold. Before somebody asks, I've tried playing Tekken blindfold. I can actually do the combos. Well, when I don't have audio, I drop the combos more often. Stream, now go to Bloodbine, bonk, bonk. There was a red flash there. I really want to know why that red flash was there. Bonk. Is there a just frame input? Is that why the red flash pops up? That's really strange for me. Hmm. Or maybe that's because you go into a different string. Maybe every string you do does the flash, telling you that you just used up your bloodbine attacks. This is oh wow, he stabbed him in the PP. That's painful, especially with that big thing. But that's also one of Ryu's lunar staff OTs. he stabs you with the lunar staff. And if you've seen the lunar staff in 3, that thing is chunky. I don't know how he manages to stab through someone's stomach with that, but yeah, it's kind of an homage to what Ryu does with the staff. Hopefully, it doesn't stay homage for too long. I need those weapons ASAP. But yeah, these portions I can skip. I'm gonna go and I clicked on one. I'm gonna go back to normal speed till we see something new. Everything so far, natural stuff we've seen. Elevator section, and who doesn't love an elevator section? And who doesn't like a fight on an elevator section? Um, he's still covered in blood, so they don't disappear immediately. I gotta point out, look at the space he covers with every string hit. Boom, all the way there. Now we're going all the way out. We're going all the way here. It is insane how much the strings push you forward. So now here's a case of, you see he's recovering the red health through because he just took chip damage, but then he loses the red health because he took damage on top of the red health. And again, drill OT. These guys parry way more often, by the way. The black enemies, the black samurais. Boom, clean. Oh, OT recovers a lot of health too. Oh, that's chunky. That's good. Yeah, if you're proficient, you can stay in the fight way longer. That's actually really good. That's a big problem I have with a lot of older Ninja Gaiden is that if you want to stay in the fight, your only option is to get lucky with essence or just use an item. I do like the fact that you can recover health here by just being aggressive. One of my favorite mechanics in any game I play is health steal. All right, that is the lunge attack with the assassin's tools, and in Blood Raven, because as you can see here, Blood Raven gauge decreases when he does this lunge. I think it is only doable in Blood Raven, so I think the input might be left trigger and X or A on Xbox. But yeah, there's two ways you can disable those. You can either throw the shuriken at them to disable those. You just have to hit it once with a melee attack. It can be ranged. Bonk. Oh yeah. Actually, let me bring this up in the middle of this. Give me a second. I have a picture of the inputs for the controller inputs for this game. I'm gonna bring it up real quick because everybody needs to see this. Boom. All right, and that. So just to give you guys a better, this picture was provided by someone on Reddit. I think I found it on Twitter. But yeah, Blood Raven and Gleaming Form are done with R2. Item wheel is L1, which is going to get changed. I don't care who says what. L1 is not gonna be my anything besides block. Block and dodge are on R2, which is the worst button you can ever have that on. Use Raven Gear. So this is your grapple and all that stuff. This is interacting with the environments. Raven Gear, right? Main menu is pause. Shortcut is the alternative button on that movement is obviously with the analog, and dash is by pressing the analog in while running while slide. The D-pad is for Tomb Blade is up, Rapier is right, down is the staff, left is the assassin's tool, right? And pause and maybe there. Heavy attack is still on Y, your triangle. Light attack is still on your X and square. Jump is on A, obviously, and Shuriken Interact is on B in circle. So I hope you all are happy to know that every time you want to interact with something now, you can still randomly, for no reason, throw shurikens in the air. Like we used to do in the good old days when you're trying to open that one damn box and you just shuriken, 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 and then kicks it open. Hopefully they've made interaction spots better. But yeah, this is the control layout for Yakumo early on, because obviously. But yeah. I wish I told you if you press R3 and L3 you go that. But yeah, that's the thing. And now I had a friend play hands-on with this game, and this is what they said to me. Butter, you're gonna have a field day with this game. It's honestly the best Ninja Gaiden today. And yeah, Yakumo is really damn fun to play. His UT charges fast and hits damn hard. Okay, this is someone that just played this game. One of my close friends I've known for a decade longer, and he's at Gamescom playing Onimusha, trying to play RE, but the line is extremely long. And he played Ninja Gaiden because for some reason Ninja Gaiden's line was not that long, not that much waiting time, and I've seen some empty booths there, so that pisses me off a little bit. So hopefully we get a public demo. But with that said, the game is good. The game feels good. The game is hype. And I've said it, as soon as people get hands on with this game, it's going to be a whole different song. Yeah, back to Dual Blades. Perfect dodge immediately out of UT. So this is a very good thing because if you remember back in the old games, if you UT, if you Zuno drop, if you OT, enemies tend to circle around you while you're in your iframes. And then as soon as your iframe ends, or even beforehand, they'll start attacking you. So here you see a case like that where UT ends, the enemies are trying to attack, but because you recovered, you can immediately perfect dodge out. And that's how you use the range attacks to get destroyed generators, which you'll see later as well. I assume those are normal shuriken throws with the ninja tool, with the assassin tool. If you press circle instead of throwing normal shurikens, you throw those bigger ones, which is cool. You basically finally got to upgrade to your shuriken. And this is the OT or UT done by multiple people, and then boom, boom, thumbnail. And as I said before, Berserk Gauge, if you max it out, it actually lasts. It doesn't drain anymore. But if it's not fully maxed out, it does drain. Speaking of which, boom, boom. He throws so many shurikens out. But I'm pretty sure that's just your sword circle with Bloodbind. Pretty cool. Pretty sick. And now we have a new enemy. We have long range enemies are bad enough. We already have 3 different versions of them. And now we have a big enemy that it's a ranged attacker. So if you've noticed, he kind of has the same size as the DDO commander you fight in Chapter 1, just with a rocket launcher and a little bit bulkier. So yeah, there is going to be your humanoid archetypes are also going to have, you know, big enemies. We already know they have the ogre ones, the very massive ones, but they have a tier below that as well. And they're not limited to that one guy. I do enjoy the fact that his bloodbind attacks tend to group in. It's really cool. And that is I assume this is square triangle or just a 360 launcher because that is a bloodbind 360 launcher. It actually AoE launches. It's super cool. The hammer is going to be really useful. Did this bro just breakdance? He is breakdancing with the goddamn spear. This game is so corny. I love it. But yeah, very, very renowned developer playing this. This is a developer playing it on normal mode with all of his tools and upgrades, and look at his health. He's almost dying, and we're not even halfway through the stage. And it won't be the first time. So he used the item, he's still getting his ass clapped. And Fatal Flash. So even on the enemy this strong, if you do a perfect Fatal Flash, you can go straight to an OT. Not taking out the range enemy, spelling Doom, just taking chip damage over and over again, and there's 2 of them up. And these guys seem to be a little bit more accurate too with their weapon, and the weapon seems a little bit deadlier as well. So you almost died again. You definitely want to take these guys out. And our favorite part about Ninja Gaiden, boom, 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 boom. And somehow, I'm sure Tyron is going to jump down from somewhere when you interact with the crow, but we don't see that. So, same options in the menu. It went by a little too quick, but yeah, same options in the menu. Items, mission database, which is your side quest and all that. You can speak with Umi. So he buys 5 items here, the healing items, because obviously you don't want to fuck up a gameplay on demonstration. And again, new enemy type can clash with the missiles. You can actually shoot the missiles out. That's why that's why there's clusters of them, so you can't just completely counteract it. And this is the way they've incorporated um, platforming, movement, and dealing with enemies. It's just one hit away, and you can fly and swallow into them to make it a little bit more fluid. But why would we do that? Boom. There, 100% there's a secret there. There has to be a scare or something behind. There's too many platforms and too linear, and I refuse to believe that's going to be that linear. Yeah. Important mechanic. And no, not the knockdown. Watch this. If he falls straight down, he dies. Air dodge. Confirmation air dash is a thing. We have air dashing in Ninja Gaiden. You can air dodge. So now I can finally put a lid on how the fuck do they aerial dodge or aerial maneuver back on the floor. It's because they do this. So if you aerial perfect dodge, it travels a great distance in the direction you push and puts you back on the floor. So in a favorable position while the time is being slowed down a little bit too. But yeah, air dashing is there. I just hope double jump is there. I really like double jump in video games. I don't think anybody minds double jump. I mean, Doom Eternal had double jump for God's sake, and people loved it. But again, I think there's so many secrets in this stage. It's just so many things point out to it. But oh yeah, watch this. Can't get to it. Boom. Shoot the shuriken. And again, favorite part. Hoo-yah. Enemies already stationed up. I do wonder if you can stealth assassinate um aerial combatants. Yeah, that right there. So, oh my god, this weapon is so fucking cool. Lay launcher goes into Lail Shredder. This is literally prop shredder. He did high time into prop shredder. We're doing DMC combo videos now. And if anyone had any doubts, you can do Izuna drop with the Assassin's Tools. This also speaks volumes for Yakumo's ability to use weapons, by the way. Like he's pretty sick with being able to use weapons. Also, very important thing here. Assassinations are not scripted or predetermined. You can actually change and select your target. So, because this player obviously has played this mission again, he knows exactly who's the most threatening character or enemy here. Normal enemy, strong enemy with a sword, strong enemy with the shurikens. And as we've seen, the shuriken commanders are the most annoying pieces of shit on the game so far. They're pretty much the equivalent to your claw ninjas. They move around super fast. They get in your face within seconds, and they have combo strings that do a lot of damage. So he was like, "Nah, I'm taking this guy out first." So thankfully we don't get. Well, unfortunately and thankfully we don't see it. The upgraded Shuriken commander do anything. Elites. I'm gonna call them elites. The commanders are not the right word. Bloodbind range attacks. They seem to do a lot of impact, but not a lot of damage. Like they knock away, they stagger, but and all the enemies are still alive, right? So, boom. They spear normal spear enemies. Basic tier 1. That's tier 2 elite. Just your tier 3. I guess I can call the yeah, that's a tier 3. The dark armored or the black armored ninjas. Yeah, he dies. He almost dies again. He almost dies again here. That timestamp does. Yeah, he almost dies here again. That'll be the third time that this experienced player almost dies on normal mode. He's used 4 potions so far, and he has 4 left because he purchased new ones. So if the enemies almost died again, make that the fourth time. So I miscalculated. He actually almost dies twice in this fight. And with that, it finishes it. That thing has massive hurt box, which is good. You want ultimate move to actually kill. And I think we have that's it. So railing sections persist throughout multiple missions. I was hoping for a little bit of a different way to travel around, but I'm fine with it. It's fine, like absolutely fine if you just drill, slide all over the place. But hey, we come to our final wave of enemies in this thing. We have the spear elites or lieutenants, I should say, because it's like higher. Lieutenants are the highest tier we've seen so far out of the enemies that are not bosses, and you can delim them. You cannot launch them. He tried to launch them. You cannot launch them, but you can delim him. And again, look at how insane this is. He just killed this other guy. The range guy has not taken any damage. He fatal flashes the first hit this guy does. It delimbs him. And he kills him. And we know these guys are not weak because he fought one earlier and he was taking a lot of punishment when it comes to damage. These guys are not your like average Joe. They actually do hurt a lot. They eat a lot too. Can't find the footage, but it's whatever. You guys remember it. And that's the end of it. They go back to talking about the thing. Now, the talking points, the questions that this interview had were not bad. No talk of demo. So again, demo still nothing on the demo. I think we're most likely gonna have to wait till TGS, which is next month on the 25th to 28th. So September 25th to September 28th is going to be TGS, right? Most likely another hands-on experience for players that are in the nearby vicinity. So if you live in Japan, TGS is going to happen, and we're going to get more news on the game. And because it's TGS, and because by all means, this is Yakumo at his full, this is his peak, right? This is absolutely, he has all his weapons, he has all his mechanics, and he's halfway through the game. More than halfway, I quote. So if this is all Yakumo has to offer, the only other promotional materials you have on you is Ryu, and if you want to do a demo. And there was an IGN interview with the developers. Nothing happened there. Otherwise, I would have covered it. It's already questions either I've answered, figured out, or somebody has figured out or answered, right? So I'm not going to cover that one. It is there. It's 13 minutes long, I think, so you can go watch it. Or 6 minutes long, I don't know. Again, no information, but when the IGN interviewer asked about the demo, Nakao-san was a little hesitant on how to answer it. And they said they are looking into ways to let people experience it hands-on in the future. So demo is not off the table, and considering they have 2 different demo builds and they already have one active at Gamescom that people are getting hands-on with, it is confirmed that there is a build for it. So the likelihood of us getting a demo is very high, and Team Ninja likes to do demos. So I'm gonna say that and just leave it on that. Number 2 would be the gameplay's difficulty. Most people, and I do mean most people, that went to Gamescom and played the game have not been able to beat the commander. The DDO commander with Yakumo, they have got their ass kicked multiple times. And when you die, they just take you off. You have to go back to the back of the line. So, just saying, people got hands on with the game, and they say the game is hard, right? And again, they're playing on normal. Now, I'm sure in your head you're gonna be like, yeah, they're probably trash. I'm better. Sure, you might be right, but the fact that the general public got their hands on the game and they're getting their ass handed to them is a sign of that. Yeah, the game is challenging, and also we are seeing it in gameplay. A developer that's been playing this game and he's playing brilliantly, right? Utilizing all his mechanics. He's utilizing all his moves. He definitely has movement. He knows how to prioritize his targets somewhat decently, right? This is a good player, and he almost died 4 times here. Granted, you don't. He's probably not at the current upgrade tier he needs to be with his health and all that, but like he has his whole arsenal unlocked, and he's still getting fucked. So, with that being said, I would not think that anybody should be worried about the difficulty in this game. And the enemies are getting your ass a lot. And the fact that, speaking of getting your ass, he literally jumped from behind. So that's that. And you still keep the format, right? You have relentless enemies that are in your face, and you have all these long range enemies that just consistently annoy you from distance. So difficulty wise, I think we're good. And as far as people that are professional content creators and stuff, some people got hands on at their house with this game, and it is still challenging. There's been a couple of players, content creators that have said like, yeah, I've died 5, 6 times on the Dark Dragon Commander, and like they had to lock in to be able to clear it. That these are people that play daily for now as their job, their stream as their job. So these are gamers by all means, right? They're still struggling with the game. So, and I don't doubt that Platinum is fully capable of keeping the game's difficulty intact, because Platinum also has a lot of bullshit difficulty curves when it comes to their own games. So always keep that in mind if you think the game's going to look easy, the game looks easy, or all that, because you are at the end of the day just watching it, right? The one very consistent thing I've noticed with people is saying that the game feels the best it has ever has when they get hands on in Ninja Gaiden 4. And the other thing that I've consistently heard is that the game is hard when they get hands on it. So the two of the major complaints about this game are addressed by people that have actually played it, and they're saying that whatever you're thinking is not true. This game is hard as shit, and it feels amazing. So hopefully we get a public demo so a lot more people can be excited about the game instead of skeptical. But you know, you can't help it. People are going to be skeptical. So with that said, before I lose my voice, I'm going to call it here. If there is any more footage, I'll obviously cover it. I think that the Twitter account for Team Ninja is going to start posting clips again for Yakumo and his new weapon, probably his new animations, new capabilities, and all that. Because we've seen everything else as much as we can, right? So I think we're gonna see a little bit more of this weapon. That's so sick in the near future. So until then, you guys chew on this. If I miss something, as always, feel free to let me know. And I found it. And if there's you know any emotions, any expressions you guys have, just please share it in the comment, and I'll try to get to them as much as I can. And if I don't reply to your comments, I promise you it's not because I'm ignoring it. It's YouTube literally gives up giving me notifications. I don't get the red bell icon popping up when I get comments, so I actually have to go manually check all my comments from the dashboard. So apologies if I don't get to your comments, but I do genuinely read all of them. I don't know how long I can keep that up for. If channel gets too big, I'm not gonna be able to read like millions of comments. But as of now, I still read all the comments on everything as much as I can. So appreciate you guys commenting, and I appreciate you guys being so active and excited about this game. It's really refreshing seeing people be observant, be happy about the game. It's so refreshing, and it keeps me going too, because it's just nice to have somebody else be excited with you. And then I log into Twitter and I want to fucking kill myself. That's everybody's a moron there. But anyways, as for that, I guess final point here, this guy, right? We did talk about him taking a lot of punishment before dying, and yeah, he's eating. He's eating a lot of damage, right? Like he ate a lot, and then you come here, he gets practically one tapped. He gets practically one tapped. Like that's kind of sick. You can't tell me this game's not sick. This game is sick. Tell me this game's sick. Have a good night, everybody. I'm gonna catch some sleep.